Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. PREG is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
What up, dude?
Hey, man.
Question. Oh, my son is not doing work. He's online commenting. Awesome.
How do you know?
I get alerts when he comments.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's funny. My youngest daughter uses, Josephine uses my YouTube login because I just didn't want her to have her own.
Yeah.
So anytime I log into YouTube to like watch something, I'll be like, the 23 funniest TikToks about barfing, or it's always like I can see exactly what she was watching. It's like,
and then she gets on there and she's like, oh, great, Doris Day again. Fuck.
How did you know? I love Doris Day, actually. She's amazing. I sure hope all of that makes it into the podcast.
That was funny
because you literally nailed it, because I actually freaking love Doris Day. She's amazing talent.
I just know where it's going though, because I have my son, he gets mad at me when I'm logged into his account and I go start perusing around YouTube. He's like, hey dad, I don't need to see Lord of the Rings and Hobbit memes all over my YouTube. Can you please get off there?
And like, I don't know what it is. I mean, just mainly because I grew up surfing a lot. I have a weakness for surfing videos. Like if there's like the new big wave record broken of a person surfing the biggest wave, or if it's like wipeout compilations, like I'm also weakness for that. So she also goes, ugh, dad, I don't like getting all these surfing video recommendations on my feed. It's like, yeah, I know, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Or famous. Oh, the other one is I love watching live concert footage of like classic bands. So I'll look up, like you said, like a Doris Day, but I'll look up like 1940s blues musician rarity, or Tom Petty live in 1976 when he was just starting out. Like I'll look up that stuff too. And she's like, I don't want to see that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, and I don't want to see freaking TikTok video compilations. So we're even.
I was throwing it out there as if you were doing research for Listen to This.
I do. I use YouTube a lot for that, man. That's how I find half my stuff.
That's how I download half your stuff. Oh, by the way, this is We Should Be Better at This podcast about absolutely nothing, because our families won't listen to us talk anymore, so we have to talk to each other. I'm Chris, and that's Sinatra's Rat Pack. Is that your name?
Also known as Eric, but yes, Sinatra's Rat Pack on Twitter. And by the way, I'm actually pretty impressed that your family ever listened to you at all. I think my wife tuned me out after the third or fourth date. That's kids tuned me out. Let's see. They still thought I was pretty awesome till they were about like 4 or 5 years old. Basically, after 5 years old, they've tuned me out. And now I'm learning that our dog has essentially tuned me out, since he only listens to my wife. So I'm in a household where everyone in my household might as well be deaf.
It's a female dog, right?
No, it's a male dog.
Wow.
Like, come on, dude. Like, have my back.
I figured it is female dog since everybody else in the house is female, including yourself.
I finally got another male in the damn house, and then he's like in love with my wife. So it's like he follows her around, and I'm like, and you just stop listening to me. Excellent. All right. Well, life is truly complete.
Just know we're eating you first, dog.
Oh my goodness. Hey man, how's it going out there?
It's going. It's raining. Been raining the last couple of days, so lots of accidents and people dying on the freeway. That's pretty much what's going on.
Yeah, my father always used to say that if it ever snowed, if there was ever a snowstorm in LA, there would be 1 million deaths in one day.
Oh
Because
yeah.
just everyone would skid off the road and kill themselves.
Which honestly, we should probably just make it happen.
Kind of, I'm in favor of.
Yeah, like like population control, and let's
imagine
be honest.
how light the freeway traffic would be, like going forward after that, when you eliminate like 1 million people.
Especially those really rich people that live up in the hills, and there's like they have like 2-wheel drive cars or like sports cars, and they're trying to go up these really steep hills, and if it was like snowy, and they would just go off the cliff and be like, yeah, that'd be cool. I'm down. Be like Sharknado.
Exactly, just like Sharknado, as should be everything in life.
What about you? Oh wait, hold on. I have an update. In-law update.
Oh yes, please. I want to know how this turned out.
Everything's going good. There's always food. There's
everything's going good, he says, as his wife stares at him in the back and throws daggers, and so he must say it a certain way.
No, they're not here, which means I can talk a little bit more freely. It hasn't been bad at all. Not the conversations, but the communication between who's going to cook and eat and do what is not there, because we don't cook. We just, like, my kids are like, what's for dinner? I'm like, what can you heat up? That's how I do dinner in this house. So it's kind of thrown Evelyn's mom off a little, and the washer and dryer is not working to its top ability. So that's kind of a fucker.
So for all of you out there, I will translate what Chris said, since he couldn't really say it. They're eating all the food in the house. They're overwhelming his washing machine to the point of breaking, and the family is all secluded in their rooms to avoid everyone. And it's driving him nuts, and he can only put up with this for about another 10 to 12 days. All right, there we go. I translated it. That was Google Translate, brought to you by Google Translate.
And I'll translate that. Brought to you by This Is Funner. Go to thisisfunner.com and waste your day.
Yes, absolutely. Hey,
that should be our tagline.
That's a great tagline. Literally, I'm looking to waste my day. Hey, speaking of, oh my gosh.
Wasting days?
Wasting days, man. Oh. Wasting days. I was reaching out to you with my frustration of my rat problem.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
So I drive an electric car. Actually, both Chris and I drive electric cars, which is pretty amazing.
Mine's got an engine. I got a hybrid, so.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yours is like the plug-in hybrid, right?
Yeah, plug-in hybrid. So
mine's full electric.
Now that I don't go anywhere or commute anywhere, I just use the electric part of it.
Right, because you're always within like 20 miles of everything.
Yep.
But mine is a full electric, which has actually been pretty good. I actually really like the car, but
not in winter, and you had a shitty winter, so keep going.
This is true. But that was just like 1 week where I couldn't charge the car, but whatever. So. Have this electric car, took it in to get serviced, and when the mechanic said, "Hey, I want to show you something." Oh, okay. And he opens up the hood. There was rat poop on top of my engine block, and all of the foam insulation surrounding the engine compartment was all gone, chewed away completely.
Oh,
so the working theory is, it's not like you open up your hood and look at your engine all the time. So this could have been something that happened a day ago. It could have happened a month ago.
That's actually a metaphor for shaving your privates. So you don't open up your hood and look at the engine every
don't really
day.
Open up my hood all the time. All right, hey, and I'm getting older. I can barely see the damn thing down there anymore.
Seriously, your dick dude's been out there since like you're 25. Right?
You know what
really,
a dick do is, right? Listen. When you got 3 inches that you're playing with, it's pretty easy to make that disappear. So,
honestly.
Under the hood, and I see all this foam gone, and I'm thinking to myself, it had to have happened during the big freeze out that we had, and it was super cold, and they came in there and they did. And the other thing I learned was the mechanic goes, they used to make all this foam and engines out of petroleum-based product. Then everyone was forced to go green. So they started using plant-based foam. Oh. The problem is the rats find the plant-based foam delicious.
Oh, well, that's.
And I'm like, he goes, good. And then he smiles and he goes, but hey, at least we're green, right?
After you're buying an electric car, you're doing your part at that point, buying an electric car. Couldn't they put in some like
Give me a little petroleum, guys.
Yeah, like throw in some fiberglass or some Agent Orange or something in there to make it like you're doing your part too to ruin the planet. I don't know.
Right. I mean, yeah, help me dirty the planet at least a little bit. But anyway, so we got to come up with some ideas. What can I possibly do to make sure that this was a one-time incident and doesn't happen again? What I've done so far, because I don't really have many options. You know those little bags? I think they're called sachets, and they're like filled with like the herbs that apparently these rats don't like or whatever.
Okay.
I literally tied one to a part in my engine block. So I'm driving around with this little like potpourri bag or whatever in my engine.
Well, does your engine get hot? I mean, it's not engine.
No,
it's a
I'm not
battery.
worried about it burning. The engine doesn't really
motor,
get too hot.
right?
Motor, because it's not really in it. Yeah.
Oh.
There's actually no moving parts in this engine. It's all electric, so it doesn't really get hot. And I tied it in a part that's like over by the washer fluid, so I don't think it's going to get warm over there. But I'm literally tying bags of potpourri in my engine. So do you have any other possible thing that I can do to get rid of these rats?
I may, but I want to go over the text messages real quick first because because you were
I was so mad.
You text over, and I want to read them verbatim so I don't mess it up too bad. Yeah. But pretty much he says, so rats went into my car's hood, ate the foam padding in the engine compartment, and pooped in the engine. Yes. And I said, what did you do to the rats?
Yes.
As if you went and murdered their mom first or something, and this was them retaliating.
This is a revenge thing. Like it was some sort of rat revenge movie. Yes.
But beside that, I don't know.
How about so listen, rat traps don't really work.
Not in a car, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, not in a car. So what if I could I'm going to put a little small video screen in my car, and I'm going to record a video that really denigrates the rats and makes them feel bad about themselves, like low self-worth. And the goal is the rats will be filled with self-doubt and loathing, and they'll commit suicide. What do you think?
So what are you going to post the video online?
Of just me talking about my life. Have you ever seen that Seinfeld episode where George Costanza is trying to get an apartment, and it's between him and another guy, and the other guy tells some sob story, and they're going to give the apartment to him, and then George goes, wait a minute, if this is a sob story competition, you can't even beat me. And then he tells like about his life, and then the people are just crying. That's what I'm going to do to these rats. I'm just going to be like, and then
really, I think it'd be more along the lines of you at that dealership a few years ago where you just started pouring popcorn on the ground. You're like, is this an inconvenience for you? I think what you're going to start doing is you're going to be shooting little yellow pellets at them. Like, is this an inconvenience for you? Because you ate the foam.
Yeah. Or what about, those bug salt guns where you shoot the little pellets of salt? What if I just hung out in the garage and I waited till they came, and then I shot like those rock salt pellets at them?
Well, then you'd get arrested for assaulting.
See what he did there, people?
No, they didn't, because it's a podcast. It's all audio.
That's right. This is not a visual medium. One of these days, I think on year 4 that we're doing this podcast, I think I'll finally get it.
You know what? I think year 4, maybe we extend it to the video version, because I don't know, the 4 people that listen on the audio version aren't really paying the bills right now.
Yeah. By the way, I'm still waiting for my first. You said that it's in the mail, but I'm just. No, that's right. You said that I'm barely a male.
Yes,
I think is what you were saying. Okay,
I said you're not a male, and go check it.
Yes, makes way more sense. Like a self-breast exam. Please go check yourself for your maleness.
Which is only 3 inches, apparently.
Exactly, it's 3 inches. In fact, my nickname in high school was just the head.
Really?
Yeah, no shaft, just
really?
The head.
Really? So you're not Jewish. Okay, cool. Keep going.
Yeah. No, I'm not Jewish. So the other thing is, I started playing
with
baseball
again.
And
awesome.
softball. Yeah, exactly. So I started playing baseball and softball again. I was warned against it. Yes,
in person
by my family, and oddly enough, by my doctor.
Wait, hold on. Isn't there like a foot of snow everywhere out there?
Stop it. That was for 1 week. It's actually been in the 70s like every single day. I'm wearing shorts right now.
So your
But then again, I wore shorts and ran out in the snow too, so that doesn't matter.
Okay, so keep going. What'd you break?
Okay. So last night was my first game.
Softball or baseball?
Baseball. I don't.
Okay.
I'm playing baseball on Wednesday nights, and on Thursday nights I'm playing co-ed softball so that the wife and I can do something together and go play. So tonight,
you guys
actually,
do like playing with
as we
balls.
record this, I'm a few hours away from leaving for my softball game. But
with your wife,
with my wife,
to go play with your balls,
to go play with big softballs.
That's awesome. Okay, keep going.
Yes.
Does she prefer
and other
wood
people,
or metal bats?
She definitely likes the wood bats.
3 inches hurt. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, 3 inches. So, played my first game last night. And
did you start?
Yes.
What position?
And I did okay for 4 innings.
Right field?
No, center field. A little bit of second base. Center field. Man. Listen, man, I'm gonna play until my body says, Eric, you can't do this no mo.
Is this an old man league? Because if you were in center field, they must all be broken like a lot.
Everyone in the league, it's a 30 and over league. So I'm still older than probably 2/3 of the team.
Yeah, but you also have a broken everything on the left side of your body.
Oh, literally everything is broken. I am a broken man. By the way, broken both physically and emotionally.
I know. That's our new podcast, actually. That's your podcast.
That's another great podcast. Broken physically and emotionally with Eric Leckie featuring Chris Donovan on.
But how does that happen?
I just listen, man. I go all out. I don't know if you ever seen that video of that guy who runs through the center field wall to make a catch. Okay, that's me. Like I'm the guy that will still dive for every ball that slides in head first. That
me
bunts,
too
does a squeeze bunt and dives into first base to tap the bait. You know, I mean, like I've just always played the game that way.
That's why you're broken.
Yeah. I'm totally broken. So my wife didn't want me to play. My kids didn't want me to play. And when I was at the doctor's getting my physical and going through all my health stuff,
and doctor's I told him I was doing the prostate.
Yeah. Well, you know what's weird though is he wasn't really a doctor. He was more of a guy I met at AM PM. But either way, it was a very thorough prostate exam. Yeah, very thorough prostate exam. But anyways, the doctor goes, "Oh, I don't think that's a good idea." So I signed up anyways.
Of course you did.
And night one, played great, got a couple of hits in the first few innings, made a catch out in the outfield that was pretty nice. And then came the 4th or 5th inning.
And then your body said, nope.
My body pulled a hamstring.
Oh! Wait, hold on.
Hamstring.
On the opposite side, probably, because you were overcompensating, not working
100% correct. Yes. Yes. 100% correct.
Oh, I'm loving this.
My right hamstring was just like, oh, I don't like any of this. And I quit. So pulled a hammy just on the way down to first base. Just the hammy went, nope, no more for you. No mas.
Let me translate that for everyone. It's not moons over my hammy. He didn't go out there and buy something from Denny's and eat it. He pulled a hamstring, which is the muscle on the backside of the strongest bone in your body, right next to his brain.
Yeah,
keep going.
My man brain. So pulled the hammy and hoping that I can recoup and play next week. But I will be playing softball with my wife tonight on the hamstring.
Yeah, you will. She'll be playing with your softballs in the bedroom if you know what I'm talking about.
I'm going to have to volunteer. No, I've never volunteered to pitch in softball before, but I think I'm going to have to pitch tonight because I can't move.
Can't you coach?
I don't want to coach. Coaching is for people who can't play anymore.
You can't play anymore.
Yes, to a certain extent, but I'm not ready to admit that yet. But anyways, so I'm going to still play softball tonight.
Okay.
Once again, above my wife's and children's objections.
Wow.
I'm going to play tonight, and I'm going to stay to pitch. Oh, if I called my doctor, they'd be like, yeah, I thought we told you not to play. And I'd be like, hey, doc, what do you know?
Well, I have a couple questions here for you because your wife's going to be worried about money when you die.
Yeah.
Did the doctor go on record saying you shouldn't play softball or baseball? It's not good for you, because if they did, you might be in trouble with your life insurance. But if they didn't, go for it.
It's not written down. It was all verbal. So it wasn't written down.
Then go for it. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I also thought my lungs were going to explode at one point.
Oh, dude, there's so many different things fighting to kill you right now inside of you.
Yeah.
It's like Mr. Burns, you know?
I have just the right amount of bad to keep me alive. If any one thing loosens up, I think I'm going to be dead within a week. But yeah, I pulled a hammy, just like you said, on the opposite leg because, of course, I'm overcompensating. But I still stayed in the game and just played. I just said, stick me in right field. The ball will probably never come to me, and I'll hobble out to whatever. If the ball is hit, I'll hobble out there and I'll still go after the ball. But
didn't you went up to your coach, who's probably a couple years younger than you, and you said, "Keep me in, coach.
I'm ready to play today."
Right field.
Right field. Yeah. So that is the story with me, and then we'll see how softball goes tonight. But
honestly, I can't wait because I need more content for this show, for one. And two, your wife's gonna get all this money, and I know I'm in your will somewhere. It might just be a big middle finger and like a YouTube post, but at least I'll get to see what I get out of your will.
Well, you mocked Doris Day earlier, but I was going to give you all of my Doris Day collection albums. But now I'm kind of second guessing that.
I didn't mock her at all. I
believe you mocked.
There was a very strong comment out of my brain used around thoughts and stuff I made up that happened with electricity in my mind. And I said Doris Day because you do listen to this. That was all. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, all right.
But also,
I'm sorry. I just sensed a lot of negativity.
Did I send you a picture of that Nancy Sinatra album that I found?
No, you did not.
Oh, I got all of my parents' albums when I went to Washington the last time I came back, and I have a lot of albums. And there's a website that I logged them all on. I thought I texted them to you. But not. I thought not. I will. I don't remember the website. Discogs, I think is what it is.
Oh yeah, Discogs, where you can look up the value of all of the records. It's also a good place to buy used records if you want to like build a collection.
Well, I have a giant collection now. I have original Beatles. Yeah, it's more than 3 inches if you know what I mean. Hey, let me log in real quick and I'll show you how many things I got.
She said, "Give me 6 inches and hurt me," and I screwed her twice and slapped her.
So I have a collection now of 241 albums, minimum value of $1,162, maximum value of $12,000.
Wow.
And medium of about $4,000. But there's some pretty dope shit in here. And I was going to give you one for your birthday. But since you like Doris Day better, fuck you. I'm not going to give you Nancy Sinatra boots that's unopened.
Ooh, that's actually a great one. That is very good. And I could see why that's worth something if it's unopened too.
$11. Yeah. Actually unopened, 28.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're probably looking at like $30-$40.
I got a bunch of albums. I think you'd dig it. There's some CCR and the Rolling Stones, a whole shit ton of stuff that I have no idea what is, which you could probably use for listen to this.
See, now it sounds like you're mocking my radio voice.
I am. No, that I'm doing. Everything else I wasn't. That
I mean, even right now I'm using a radio voice. My real voice sounds like this.
And you wonder why he's broken because people hit him a lot.
Oh my goodness! Hey, do you have anything else? Because I had an SMRT I wanted to get to.
In-laws check-in. Listen to this. Make fun of him. Lost virginity at 39, not 40. No, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you for bringing that last one up. I love you for it. Question. I have 2 prepared, but I can't remember if I might have mentioned this one before. Did I ever talk about, for SMRT, the Florida inmate who was released from jail on his birthday?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so
hold on. Let's put in the intro.
Oh, let's do the intro.
I am too smart. I am too smart. SMRT. I mean SMART.
Okay, so this is SMRT. It's just dumb people doing dumb things. And, we always pretty much 9 times out of 10, it's a person from Florida.
Yep.
We might as well just rename it SMRT Florida Edition. But so this is interesting. As I said, a Florida inmate mistakenly released from jail on his birthday. Authorities are searching for Eduardo Cabana, which is, isn't that your alter ego? Are
me?
You, Chris, are you Eduardo Cabana?
No, I am not Eduardo.
My name is Antonio Banderas.
Javier.
So authorities are searching for a 52-year-old inmate who was
52.
Yeah, he was.
Let him go.
Yeah, right. He was mistakenly released from jail in Miami. He was freed in an error on Monday, which was his birthday, because the person doing the paperwork mistakenly looked at the column that said birthday and confused that with release date.
Wow, that's a hell of a birthday present, if you know what I mean.
Yes, and so it says Cabana was in jail on multiple charges, including obstruction of justice. Okay, this is a great one too.
Okay.
Obstruction of justice by a disguised person.
Oh.
Shooting or okay, you know what? I think we
What?
did do this. I think we did do this story before.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Because I wanted to point out how it says he threw a missile, and I think we talked about how.
Oh, yeah, you buried the lead.
Oh, okay, that's right. So we did do this one before. So I'm glad I had another one prepared because I was so impressed by that story. I still had it like on my list to talk about. I think I didn't cross it off.
Okay, so let me rewind it.
We should be better at this.
Let me rewind real quick. Eric's
Florida, man.
And now SMRT.
Okay, a man in Michigan.
Oh, shit.
Damn it.
I lost the over-under. It's supposed to be Florida.
It's supposed to be Florida. A man in Michigan sues Hertz rental car over a receipt that would have cleared him of murder. It says a Michigan man filed a lawsuit on Tuesday against the car rental company for failing to produce a receipt that would have proved his innocence after being convicted back in 2011 for murder. Herbert Alford was wrongfully incarcerated for 10 years.
Wow.
9 years. 9 years
Yeah,
he was incarcerated after being found guilty of killing 23-year-old Michael Adams. According to prosecutors, he shot Adams in the back over a 50-pound bag of marijuana.
Ooh, that was a good shot.
Let's pause right there to talk about a 50-pound bag of marijuana. Now, I just got done bagging up leaves in my front yard as the leaves kind of continue to fall.
Are you going to smoke it?
No, but a 50-pound bag is very heavy, and I kind of want to know what bag is he using to hold 50 pounds, because I packed in my bag the bag with leaves, and they were about to burst at the seams, and that was like 10 pounds of leaves. Where is he getting these bags that can hold 50 pounds of marijuana?
I'm sure it's a bunch of shrink wrap, but beside all that, I don't know. It's probably made of paper, so it's like inconspicuous. But
if it's a bag, that means it's meant to be carried, right? Like how
I mean, maybe
was
it's
this like
duffel
a duffel
bag.
Do you think it's like in a duffel bag? And by the way, a duffel bag, how would that hold 50 pounds? 50 pounds is a lot.
I don't know, but did he get arrested like right after this happened, or did he get to smoke a lot of it?
Well, if he shot the guy over it, yeah, you're right. Did he get to? I don't think this is for smoking. This has got to be for distribution.
Oh yeah, so then he got busted. He didn't get to benefit from having it. Well,
Yeah,
what a
that's
jackass.
what it sounds like.
Anyway,
It says, but Alford, who
hold on.
No, but Alford, who rented a car from Hertz location at an airport in Lansing, Michigan, around the time of the murder, tried to obtain records of the transactions during his trial back in 2011. Though the rental agency said they were unable to provide a receipt at that time because it was against their policy.
Oh, bullshit.
Right? Exactly. Alford was then convicted of the murder a year later in early 2012. While we were unable to find the historical record from 2011 when it was requested during the trial, we continued our good faith efforts to locate it, a spokesperson says. Then within advances in data searching over the years, by the way, a Google search, you're telling me you can't look up records, and this wasn't like it happened 5 years later or 10 years later. This is like a year later he's on trial, and you're like, can't find the record.
Well, my question is, how did he pay? If he paid cash, he's a freaking idiot. 'Cause it's a rental car.
It's a
especially
rental
in
car.
2011. Nobody carries cash, and he's 52 when he got. No, this is a different story.
But wait a minute. If he's out there selling 50-pound bags of marijuana, he might be operating in a cash-only business.
That's why.
That's
why people want Trump in.
Yes, that's, by the way, people, that's why you pay with your card, and that way you can murder people and have an alibi. It says, with the advances in data search in the following years, we were finally able to locate the rental record in 2018 and promptly provided it. By the way, you don't get to use the word promptly when it took you 7 years to find a receipt. When yeah, when you're supposed to be keeping those records.
When every man can't use promptly when he's 35 minutes late, you can't use it for 7 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't like your use of the word promptly.
Yeah.
It says Jamie White, the attorney for Alfred, said that if Hertz had been able to produce the receipt in a timely manner, his client would not have been convicted because it provided an airtight alibi. Yes, I agree with him. It says, quote, there is no question that he could have avoided going to prison for all this time had they produced this documentation.
Wow.
Alfred's case against Hertz has been stalled by the company, which is hoping to bounce back from bankruptcy due to COVID. So basically, COVID has put Hertz on the verge of bankruptcy,
which is every company now.
Which is every company,
that big of a deal.
And they don't want to settle the lawsuit until they can figure out their bankruptcy thing. But I'm sorry, even though this guy is probably a criminal and probably committed a lot of other things wrong in life, he went to prison for a murder he did not commit because you guys didn't have a search feature on your rental car stuff.
Which is not true. I know how all that shit works. So it was just some lazy person that didn't want to do it or something, and then they just fought it. How gnarly is that?
And can you imagine being that guy? Like, you're at your trial, you get convicted, and you're first of all, WTF? What the hell? How did this happen? And then, like, let's say
you have 50 pounds bag,
go by.
a 50-pound bag of weed. I mean,
well, 2 or 3 years goes by, and you're sitting in prison, not jail, prison. And you're like keeping in touch with your lawyer. So have they found the receipt yet? No, but they swear that they're looking for it promptly. And then like year 5, hey, Mr. Lawyer, have they found the receipt? And at this point, the lawyer's probably going, yeah, listen, buddy, I'm not going to take your calls anymore because obviously you're in jail and you're screwed. And then one day when Hertz goes, hey guys, guess what? We found this receipt. If you're Hertz, do you just never find the receipt, or do you find the receipt and do the right thing? Because you're on the verge of bankruptcy, and you're now going to get sued for, I don't know, $100 million for putting this guy in jail. That'll buy a lot of 50-pound bags of weed, by the way.
It will, especially now since they can just deliver it to your house.
do you, if you're Hertz and you're like, hey, they come to you and you're like the CEO of Hertz. Hey, Chris.
Max Power is his name.
Max Power, right. Hey, Max, we found the receipt that we've been looking for 8 or 9 years.
Burn it.
Yeah, exactly, right? Burn it, destroy right all now. Evidence, and I don't want to know what happened to it, so I have plausible deniability.
Yeah, no, you didn't come into this office right now.
In fact, you didn't come to work because you didn't come to work at all because you got sent on a 3-week cruise around the world, all expenses paid on our behalf.
And please make sure you get your receipts from Avis because we don't want you to get in trouble for a murder.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think that's exactly what happened. It was probably someone lazy who's like, yeah, we'll totally look for this receipt. And then they didn't. And
he has a lawsuit there if you think about it.
Oh, totally.
He's going to win. But here's the funny thing. We're thinking about it like he actually did the crime for the 50-pound bag of weed. He wasn't even there because he obviously has his Hertz receipt, which is kind of funny. Hertz receipt.
Maybe he
doesn't even get any weed out of it. He gets put in jail for 9 years. What the fudge?
Yeah, no, I support him taking these guys for everything.
You think he likes everything? You think he likes guys? Because we can probably go hook up, get married, take all the money after he wins the lawsuit.
Yeah, I'd totally marry him.
I mean, you are like crippled a little bit, so maybe he'll have that. I can help him with all the money I'm getting.
With all the money I have. Or he's just going to go be like a drug king. You're going to hear like 5 years from now, he's like the marijuana drug kingpin of Miami or something like that. Or like he's going to invest that money how he knows how to invest.
How funny would it be if he went out and bought 2 giant bags, 50 pounds each of weed because it's legal. It was like, this bought me this, and I still have a bank account with 7 digits, bitches.
Yes,
Thanks,
exactly.
Hertz. I bet it hurts.
So,
okay.
I would also.
Oh shit! What do you got?
Like to do a Rotten Tomatoes game.
Ooh.
So let's go ahead and play that.
Oh, hooray for Hollywood! It's really got me. Hooray! 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 Hooray for Hollywood!
All right, Rotten Tomatoes game, and today's theme, since I brought it up about my car earlier, is movies about rats.
Nice.
Okay, so first up is a movie I'm sure both of us loved and also our kids love it too. It came out in 2007, voiced by Patton Oswalt. The movie is Ratatouille with a ton of rats in this movie. What did you think? Did your kids like this movie?
No. Nah, my wife.
Really? I'm surprised. This movie is really popular.
They didn't hate it, but they didn't like love it. It's one movie that we probably watched in their house twice, to be honest with you. My wife doesn't like rats, so I'm sure that had something to do with it. But my youngest is now starting to cook a lot more, so I think she'll start. If she watches it again, she'll probably like it. So it wasn't huge in our house, but basically, it's the show about the rat that controls the guy by his hair, right?
Yeah, but I thought it was incredibly wonderfully written. I thought the voice acting was just superb.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. I love Patton Oswalt, and I forgot he got that Disney money.
He got that Disney money, and also I think that it's important that it's like such a unique story, right? Like you wouldn't have thought about, Disney. A lot of the times, the rats or the animals interacting with humans, it's more for comedic whatever. This was
or to make a dress like Cinderella.
Right. So what do you think? This movie was pretty much beloved by everyone. I think it won Best Animated Feature at the Oscars, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
So this had to be a hit, but what do you think the critics thought of it?
See, and you say all those words like had to be a hit and it got an awards to like sway me, I think you're trying to sway me here a little bit, Eric.
I don't know.
Swear.
I mean, this was a pretty popular movie.
I'm going to say 89.
89%. Oof. Okay. I gotta go a little. I'm right there with you. I mean, it's like a 91. I mean, this had to be pretty much beloved by everyone. I can imagine a few critics poo-pooing it because it was a cartoon or something. But
91's the year you graduated high school, right?
No. It feels like it with how my body feels right now.
The whole left side that's broken. Okay, keep going. What's the next movie?
Okay, next movie. You just brought it up. It features a couple of mouse. I don't remember both their names, but I know one of them was named Gus Gus. This is 1950 Cinderella.
Oh shit! Really?
Cinderella, and the two mice, and they're singing. You got Gus, and I can't remember what the hell the other mice's name were. Mises. Is it mices or mises? Or what's the plural? Mice.
Mice is plural for, but it's like moose. It's like,
moose.
Hey, look at the moose. It's not Mises.
I think it's Mises.
Well, what about goose? Hey, look at the goose. There's one
Gooses.
goose. Oh, look at all the geese. It's
not moose. It's moose, so it's
Mies.
It's Mies then. I think it's Mies. We're settling on it. It's officially Mies.
It's Mies.
Look at all the Mies over there.
Yeah. Well, that sounds something like you eat anyway. So keep going.
So Cinderella, a beloved Disney classic. You got cats in there that are evil. And by the way, I think Disney nailed it because cats really are evil.
That's
cats,
true, but you also have stepsisters that are pretty evil too, and those have vaginas, and those are pussies, and those are cats too.
Okay, good point. But I do think in this one, the mice kind of steal the show. I think everyone loves the two mice that are trying to gather up, and then you got the other mice, women that are sewing the dress for her, and you know, this is a classic. This is a Disney classic.
Lots of rodents in this one.
Lots of rodents, and none of them ate any part of a vehicle or pooped on an engine. I can say with almost certainty.
Or cooked ratatouille.
Or cooked ratatouille.
So you go first since I went first on the last one.
Yeah, this has got to be high. I'm going to say it's higher than Ratatouille because this is considered a classic. I'm going to go 95.
Really? I'm going to go lower than that because even though it is a classic, the whole movie is about a shoe. And I mean, I don't really go shoe shopping much. So I'm going to say 91.
91, the year you graduated.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, was that a burp or did Satan get your soul there for a moment?
I'm watching the new preview for the Spawn.
All right, this next movie came out in 1977, and I don't know why I've picked 3 Disney movies here in a row. It's just how things worked out, but it came out in 1977.
Hold on. The Travelers?
No.
Okay, keep going.
One of the voices of the Mies, since we've decided that is the official word, one of the Mies was voiced by Zsa Zsa Gabor. She
slapped a policeman, right?
She did slap a policeman.
Okay.
The bird, the seagull or albatross or whatever, was voiced by Buddy Hackett.
This is the movie with the boobs.
This is the movie with the secret boobs. Do you remember the name of it?
Yeah, no, I don't, but I know it's like Travelers or something in the
Rescuers.
There you go.
The Rescuers. They also made a sequel called The Rescuers Down Under. This is from 1977. It is the Meese are traveling to rescue a poor little girl who has been kidnapped, and apparently these Meese are part of some, like, I don't know, detective agency, and then they take the weird seagull albatross thing that like is wacky and kooky and can barely fly and all that kind of stuff.
And then when they fly, they're flying by an apartment building in the background, and the apartment building in the background has a picture of boobs.
Yes. And
Yes.
the Disney, that was back when the Disney animators had to hand draw everything and it wasn't computer done. And they would constantly sneak in these kind of like hidden things. And it finally got taken out on all the newer releases. But if you have an old VHS copy.
Yep. And you can also Google it. I'm sure it's out there.
Oh, you could totally Google it. But if you have a VHS copy, you could still freeze frame cartoon boobies.
Which, I mean, they were a person, but whatever, doesn't matter. Beside all that, I don't know. I mean, like, am I thinking as I'm rating this film?
It's not as much of a classic as Cinderella and
it's not as well known,
right?
But when
Not
it
as
came
well
out,
known.
it was huge because that was universal. It was giant at the time. But am I looking at this movie as somebody that created Rotten Tomatoes, a website in the late 90s, and going, that movie sucks? Or am I rating this movie as if I'm the person watching it brand new?
Well, it does. Rotten Tomatoes does take into account people who have reviewed it well after the fact, many years later, when it has become a beloved classic.
Okay.
But it also takes into consideration reviewers at the time that reviewed it. So it's going to be a blend.
But I mean, but the only reviewers at the time were Siskel and Ebert, and I'm pretty sure both of them. No, one of them's dead. I'm just kidding.
They are both dead.
I'm gonna give this like a 78 because I don't think it was. I don't think it held up.
I'm gonna go a little higher because I think at the time it was probably reviewed lower. But I think, you know, how people go back and like with reverence and nostalgia and they rank it higher. So I'm gonna go a little higher than that, and I'm gonna say 90.
A little higher? You're going 12 higher. What do you got? 50-pound bags?
12 higher. I took a 50-pound bag of marijuana that I got from this guy I met who supposedly murdered someone.
Who says marijuana anymore?
Marijuana.
You know what's funny is my parents are giant potheads. And when I was in 5th grade, I was reading a story and I said marijuana. And everybody's like, ah, ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, oh, that's how you spell marijuana.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's start a new segment called Thank You for That Story, Chris.
There's next. Keep going.
Okay. Next up, our final movie. This movie is from 2003. It stars Crispin Glover, who you would recognize from Back to the Future. He's just a super weird dude. Yes. Like, there's a reason no one works with him anymore, and he doesn't get acting gigs because he's so difficult to work with and such a weirdo.
I know what this is.
Yeah. So this movie is called Willard. And since most people have not seen it, I'm going to read you the description from IMDb.
Okay.
It says, desperate for companionship, the repressed Willard, played by Crispin Glover, befriends a group of rats that inhabit his late father's deteriorating mansion. These furry creatures, he finds temporary refuge from daily abuse at the hands of his bedridden mother and his father's old partner. Soon it becomes clear that the brood of rodents is ready and willing to exact a vicious, deadly revenge on anyone who dares bully their sensitive new master. So it's almost kind of like Ratatouille, except for the rats, the Reets. Well, if we're going to go with the Reets, I think we should go with Reets.
The Reets.
The Reets are like more vicious and deadly, but it seems like it's actually kind of similar to like Ratatouille. This person who's unappreciated, kind of quiet and weird, and then like the Reets like do his bidding, except for it's evil bidding rather than like cooking.
Very evil bidding. And if anybody doesn't know who the actor that Eric's talking about, did you say Back to the Future? He's the guy he's George McFly, right?
He's George McFly.
George McFly, yeah. And he is creepy in this movie. And I know that this movie fell flat on its rat's ass. So I'm gonna go like a 40.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. There's no way that first of all, horror movies don't typically do very well and with critics, right?
Especially with rodents.
Horror movies with rodents probably do even less, and horror movies movies where Crispin Glover is your lead character probably do even worse. But you know, it is weird because this movie had to be a small-time movie, but yet I remember it clearly. Like
I remember they had big marketing behind it.
They had a huge marketing, so they must have thought it was gonna be a hit. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I was gonna go 45.
Ooh, look at you trying to be a
one-upper.
caliber.
Yeah. All right. So Sure. All right, so let's go back and let's look at
All
the
right.
scores. First of all, 2007's Ratatouille. I guessed 91. You guessed 89. We were essentially right there together. And the actual score was 96.
Wow, I was off by 7. You were off by 5.
And so, I mean, yeah, but we were right there in the ballpark.
Yeah.
We were in the ballpark. Okay,
It's
next
actually the
up,
year I graduated high school.
19. Are you sure you actually graduated?
Sure.
Yeah. Is that the story you're going to stick
Just
with?
keep going.
Yeah. So the next up was 1950s Cinderella.
Cinderella. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
I guessed a 95. You guessed a 91. And the actual score from the critics is 97. This is a pretty much beloved movie that is looked upon with reverence. So there you go.
It's because the glass slipper. Everybody wants to have a foot that skinny. Okay, keep
I
going.
guess so. And by the way, did you know that the glass slipper was a mistranslation from the original wording? The original story, it was in French, and it was a fur slipper. It was made out of like animal skin. It was a fur slipper. Well, the word in French for fur and for glass is very similar. So when they translated it into English, they wrote glass. And if you think about it, it doesn't make sense because how uncomfortable would that be? And it would be slippery as hell. Wouldn't you fall all over the place?
Maybe. And this is a new segment called Facts with Eric that nobody knows or wants to know. Now, that's funny because the only reason, I mean, the glass slipper obviously is very pivotal, or at least a big part of that movie. But the Ralph Breaks the Internet reference to Cinderella where she breaks it and tries to stab the other girl. That's the best part about that glass slipper. Keep going.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. So we got the next up, 1977's The Rescuers. This is the only one where I think you and I were the farthest apart. We were 12 points, as you pointed out with your math skills. I gave it a 90. You gave it a 78. You were much closer on this one. It turns out it was an 81.
Wow, I'm only off by 3 and you're off by 9, which puts it very, very close. I'm at 16, you're at 17, so I'm winning right now by 1.
Ooh, you are? Okay.
Well, no, actually, hold on. Let me do the math again. 9, 10, 11. No, it's a tie at 16.
Okay, so it's a tie at 16. So the deciding movie will be Willard.
Which should never be deciding of anything.
It should not be. But you know what's funny is I actually kind of just want to watch a little bit of it.
I do too. I actually like the movie because I'm weird.
Yeah, you are the Crispin Glover of the podcast universe. So Willard, I gave it a 45. You gave it a 40. It turns out a little bit more of the people liked it than we thought.
No.
Because it is barely fresh at 64%.
Oh,
so just because I was a few points higher than you, I pulled out the win. But that was a tie ball game until the very, very end.
That's pretty gnarly. We were that close. I mean, especially with the drastic 78 and 90, and you did the research.
Yeah, that was your comeback right there. And then I put it away and closed the deal.
You just said pulled out, come back, and put it away in the same sentence.
I sure did.
Okay, cool. So you know.
Did. Okay, well, that's all I had. And so all of you can scram and get out of here now. But before you do, please go to thisisfunner.com. And for all of your podcast needs, and by the way, maybe even some life advice.
Yeah, actually, that's there's a lot of life advice. And there's this really cool podcast up there. If you're distance teaching and you want to get away from your kids for about 45 minutes, listen to this. The songs they might not like, but it tells them about certain things. So if they
counts as a history
clothes, if they like alcohol, which they should now that they've been through COVID, they can listen to how that evolved through music. And it's quite good, actually.
Well, thank you very much. We work really hard on it, and it's very fun to bring to you. And please go out there and give it a follow and a subscription, whatever the hell they call it when you do podcasting. That is it for me. Yeah, that is it for me. I don't even know anything about podcasting. I think this is just a phone call that you've been recording for years.
It actually is. And we started podcasting in like 2003, I think.
Yeah. The same
Remember
year that Willard came out. It's a story about two people who were really inspired by the movie Willard and we started podcasting. It wasn't called podcasting that at the time. It was just a Willard movie fan club. Is really how it started.
And it was called Being Unemployed. with a compact Presario computer.
Oh my god! Yes. Oh my god, that's funny. Yes. Oh my god.
All right, I got nothing
everybody,
else.
Get the hell out of here. Go subscribe. Go do a lot of things, and be kind to each other. How's that?
don't play in traffic a lot.
A lot. Yeah, you can do it some.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Talk to you later.
Catch you later.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.